did go through a phase in my life where I was, and I'm still go, 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 but I was go, go, go so that when I get there, I'm going to feel this way. And I had an experience where I got there and it was like I woke up and I was like, okay, I literally don't feel any different. Like I feel the same exact I felt yesterday, last week, last month. And kind of the massive realization I had in that experience was when you get to that point, you're the one that decides how you get to feel. Mm-hmm. So it's like rather than achieve to be happy, happily achieve. And so for me, gratitude is one of those ways. And then what I do is every basically 3 months, I look back at my goals and say, where do I want to be in the next 6 months? Where do I want to be in the next year? And am I on track to do those? And so for me, I'm a very analytical person. So I'm always looking at like the numbers, the data, and tracking it that way. But I would say that's something that like gets me going. And then one of the biggest silver linings, and this is something I learned from one of my mentors early on, is he said, don't wish you had more answers, wish you had more reasons. So if I'm ever like achieving for something, if I'm ever wanting to find ways that I can be more driven, I don't look at necessarily what do I want to achieve. I look at why do I want to achieve it? Who do I want to achieve it for? What is it going to do for me, my life, for the people around me? I build a bulk arsenal of reasons on why I must do this. And then that builds a fire in me that it's like, it doesn't matter what I have to do to get that. I'm going to do it because now I have the reasons, not just like the things that I want to achieve.
Mm-hmm. One more quick thing before we roll out of the show. Where do they find the program that you're doing? We're going to put your website up on the show notes here. But
Sweet.
What are some of the details of how they find you, when this kicks off, and all that other good stuff?
Yep. So it's called the 5-Day Find Your Future Challenge, as I mentioned, and it's starting July 19th. So you're probably listening to this before that. And so it's next Monday. So the next Monday on your calendar, and for every single day at 9 a.m. Pacific, 10 Mountain, 11 Central, 12 Eastern Standard Time, we're going live for about 10 to 15 minutes a day. And so if you want to get access to that, you go to findingdirectionuniversity.com. Awesome. So pretty simple, findingdirectionuniversity.com. And again, what I would just encourage is, for one, if you're someone that's listening to this and you're going, like, I've recently asked myself the question, what do I want to do with my life? Or if you're in a place of transition, go at least check out the page and see if this is something for you. And one other thing that I would put a massive emphasis on is, it's like, if you are a parent, or if you have a brother or sister that has kids that's kind of in that phase of figuring out their life, from someone who went through this more recently, it's one of the heaviest weighted times of your life when you're going through that moment of what the heck am I supposed to do? There's the pressure, the weight, all these different things. And it's like, as much as a parent we can support and do that, I think it is such a different language that gets spoken to someone when it's someone that's around their age, that's been there recently, that's going through these different things. And so I would say if you have a kid, or you know someone else that's kind of in that, just send this to them. It's findingdirectionuniversity.com. And I promise you, over the 5 days, it's going to be interactive. It's going to be fun. And most importantly, we're going to get a lot of clarity just on figuring out, how do we build a life? How do you build a life that you love? Like, I think too many people do work they hate, and they settle and they go, it's just my job. I am of the complete opposite, where it's like, that is 40 hours a week. That's, 25% of your life that you're just going to write off. Like, why not use that percentage of your life to fuel your life rather than use it as a burden? So that's where you can find it. If you have questions, you can reach out to us through the website. So go there, findingdirectionuniversity.com. And if you have any questions, reach out and we're happy to help.
What a great tool for people to utilize. I would encourage you, if you're listening to the show, check it out. If you want to know a little bit more about Stu, I interviewed him back in January. It is episode number 115 on The Answer is Yes. Check it out. He tells his whole story and what he's been doing in the past and current, and his life with Tony Robbins and all those other things. Stu, I really appreciate you reaching out and giving us some value on Live Life Driven this week. We'll get this posted up so we can get as many people and eyes and ears to your activity next week. I wish you much success in that. So happy to see your face. By the way, you asked me earlier, and it just went right over my head. I'm still old school enough where I have not figured out, and I know it's easy, how to get the Zoom calls on my Facebook so they could see us live. But, man, you look good today. Your office looks good. They're just going to get to listen.
Man.
They're not going to get to see your smile.
That's okay.
I promise you before the end of the year, I will have Zoom calls on my YouTube and all those other things. So thanks again for showing up and sharing what you're up to.
Yeah, and thank you from the bottom of my heart, Jim, for real, for just being someone who's willing to put a helping hand out there and help people in this world and just honestly be like a beautiful soul and a beautiful light. So thank you so much for what you do and for having me here. I am beyond grateful.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Well, that's the show for today. I hope you picked up something. If there was some value here, share it with your friends and family. And don't forget about Stu's program starting next week. Take care and talk soon.